We did it! Welcome, welcome! It's amazing when a computer part goes out, what you have to do and how important each of those parts are. So thanks for your patience. I've got so much to show you tonight, but I'll talk fast and we'll get done as quickly as possible because I know you've already spent 30 minutes waiting for us. So thank you for waiting. And again, welcome, welcome. The pattern of the month this month is 4013, Vince's dress. And I know every time we have a dress as a POM or I say something about a dress, I get it every time. I don't wear dresses. I know you don't wear dresses. I got it. I wish you would. I wish you would try, but we did so many other things with this pattern besides a dress that, you know, my goal is for you to see the value of it and how much applicable this pattern can be and how versatile it can be. So that's the goal tonight. So we're going to start off with the pattern Just Like It Is. Just Like It Is. It's just such a fun pattern. I see it everywhere. 4013, the number, it means it came out in 2013. That means this pattern's been around for 4 or 5 years. And you know what? I still see it everywhere. I'm going to show you. We're going to bring up, you know, just before everybody's been waiting so long. Are there any questions probably right off the bat that we need to address? Are we okay? Okay, we're okay? Okay. We've had so much fun with fabrics and, oh my gosh, just, you know, you guys know there's just been a lot available. We've gotten some great stuff in. And we still have great stuff. And I've just had more fun doing this webcast. So whenever there's technical difficulties, I'm like, oh no, I don't get to talk to everybody. So thanks again for hanging in. All right, so we're going to pull up, if we can, and again, because something we don't have is the normal monitors that we typically have, and so it's difficult for somebody to see when they don't have a monitor. But we're going to do our best here. We're going to pull up number 1 and number 2, pictures number 1 and pictures number 2. All right, so picture number 1, if you can put those side by side, maybe. That's number 2. We'll get it here just a second. Yep. We can just put them side by side. That's what I want you to see. Okay, so the one there that you're looking at that's on the right-hand side, that's exactly as I pulled it off the internet. And that's a current picture, so you see that is exactly our pattern. It's just really cute and just exactly our pattern, but it's really current. So again, we're looking at the picture. As you look at the monitor, we're looking at the picture at the right. We're going to call that picture number 1. What I want you to see when you look at that photo is her hip. Your eye goes right to her hip because that's the lightest part of the picture. The big black wide stripe is put right at the hip. So if you were to go in and buy this dress and put it on, if you had thin hips like she does, she looks terrific. The only problem is so many of us just don't really look like that in the figure, but it doesn't mean the dress won't look good on us. It will. So what I want to do is really talk about, again, let's still focus on the picture on the right. I probably shouldn't have put the second picture up there yet, but no big deal. I want you to notice that there's 3 fabrics. So we've got the black with the white stripe, and you can see that's used twice. We've got the white with the black stripe, the mini stripe, and that's used twice at the top and then at the bottom. And then we've got the white with the black, I'll call it the umpire stripe, just for lack of a better word, so that you know it's the wider stripe that's at the hip and at the hem. So there's 3 fabrics. Each fabric is used twice. There's 6 pieces in the front, which again is exactly what our pattern has. So what we're really talking about here is color placement on the body. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down and say that there's 2 light fabrics and a dark fabric. So when you have 6 pieces, that means you're going to use each fabric twice. If there's 2 lights, which is the umpire stripe and then the mini stripe, and then only 1 dark, then you're going to end up with what I'm going to term it bad design. It simply means once you make that up and put it on yourself, it's not going to make you look your best. So now we go to, because what we did is we manipulated that picture and we darkened, and now we're using 2 darks and 1 light. And you can see that the light is up at her shoulder and then at the hem, and then the darks are in between. So there's 2 different fabrics that are dark, And then there's a one fabric that's light. Now, the reason I put it diagonally, as you notice, it pulls your eye all the way across the body, and it's completely vertical. And it's also balanced, where so I put the umpire stripe, if you notice, on the lower left-hand corner, not the lower right, because the upper right-hand corner was where the umpire stripe is at the top. Not literally, but you understand what I'm saying. So we go all the way across with those same fabrics, and the rest honestly doesn't even matter. So now what we did is we're going to come to the design that we did for ourselves. And this is the one I did for me, and I'm going to open up this top and show it to you. So here's my light, and opposite corner all the way down at the bottom is my light repeated, so that the eye goes vertically onto the garment. Then I did a black. Now what I did is I used solids, and I used all the terry knits, these beautiful, there's a black terry knit, I'll give you fabric numbers here in just a minute. And then there's a blue terry knit. It's not a navy blue, but it's a medium blue. And I just love this combination. And it is so flattering when I put it on. I absolutely just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So you can see that the blue is actually together. There's a seam, but there's two of them blue, two are black, and then two are white, and where they go together. And also, I mean, I know it's not on the lady, but you can really see that it's a much more flattering look, because the heavier parts of us, the waist, the hip, those parts are dark. And you can do it in an endless amount of combination of fabrics. Three fabrics that match, two are going to be dark, one are going to be light. That's the only thing I wanted to run home to you. And then of course I did a little tank, and this is a little cardigan that goes over, the little white cardigan goes over. So the white is 1837. That's your fabric number. The blue is 1753. That's at Rebecca Taylor. And the black is 1833. Luscious fabrics. I mean, when I put this dress on, and I'm going to tell you, it feels like pajamas. It just feels that good. And so that's, you need a yard of each of those to get the dress to make enough. And that's just to the dress. Basically, all I did was play with colors. And I want you to see how important it is to get the colors in the right place. And the advantage of sewing is that we can do that. And we can get the fabrics we want and put them where we want them. Okay, any questions or any issues that we want to talk about on that? I'm going to retire her back here for a little bit. Great dress. Love the dress. I would suggest you make a muslin. I think the most important thing about this dress is that you get to understand it and know it, how it goes together, how it's numbered. I named the front pieces are numbered 1 to the bottom through 6. The back pieces have A's on them. So they're the same numbers from top to bottom, but the front has no A's and the back has A's, A in the alphabet, so that you could go through the pieces and look at the numbers and know that the A's are to the back and the non are to the front. And then as you build the dress, you build it from the bottom up, and the directions take you through, and it's a very easy. It's really just a sweater set. It's just cut up into pieces. Now that's an oversimplification because, you know, there's a few pieces, but it's just a lot of fun. Again, I want to make sure we're through all of those questions so that you can see the difference in the two. Model Glory? What is that? Will you be in Breckenridge, Colorado? Will I be in Breckenridge, Colorado for a workshop? Yes. That workshop's sold out. Where I will be, actually, that's not sold out, that's still available, is at Colorado Fabrics. Colorado Fabrics is a sponsor of the PBS show, and a week from Wednesday, next week, not this week, but the next week, we have classes there. So if you're in that area or close or can drive or fly in or whatever, there's availability at Colorado Fabrics. So we're thrilled to be there. Breckenridge, though, is full. Okay, so can you show the back of that multicolored dress? Sure. Yeah. All right, and I did the same concept on the back. I did the light at the top. There's only 5 pieces in the back. So I did the light at the top, and then I just left 2 blue. There's a blue way down at the bottom. You can't see it. The 2 blacks are here in the blue, and then the blue down below. All right? All right. All right. So she did a great job. Love this dress. I absolutely love this dress. I love the way it looks on. I love the way it feels. It's just a really fun dress. And I do think that when we look at those principles of the design and apply them, you know, as long as we're making our dress and we're doing all the parts and we're getting it to fit, we might as well, you know, get it all. Okay, so now what I did is I left off, I used 3 pieces in the front and 2 pieces in the back. And so the next couple ones are all about fabric placement and just how much fun you can make with pattern placement. So we're going to go to this one first. Because again, it's easy and it's just pattern placement. So on the site, it's fabric number 1834. It's a fabric, a Donna Karan fabric, obviously DKNY, and it is a panel. It's a big square panel. That's all it is. It's $12.99 for the panel, very inexpensive. So what I did is I laid the pieces on the panel. Again, I only used 1, 2, 3 in the front and 1A and 2A in the back. Everything else gets put to the side, and of course I used the sleeve. And what I did is I just laid and played with, and there's no right and wrong on this. It's just really fun to lay it out and play with all the different parts of that panel. I think when you have a panel like that, a lot of people think, what am I going to do with this panel? You're going to cut it up just like quilters do, and you're going to sew it back together. All right, and that's going to make just a really fun, I love this on. I just, you know, my hardest thing was, okay, what do I wear tonight? Like, I want to like go change and put it back, and you know, I don't need to do all that. Anyway, it looks really fun. So here, there's just little messages. I put different on each sleeve. Now, it only took me 1 panel to make this size, but I'm going to tell you, I used every nook and cranny. I really did. There was not anything left, and I didn't have a lot of choices on the sleeves, but you can see, or even the length of the sleeves, but I did want them to be different. And so there's a crest on that and then a stripe on that. Anyway, New York, original style, entering the city of DKNY. I just think it's fun. I just really, really like it. With just a little pair of black yoga pants, I just think it would be a home run. All right, so 1834 again is that panel, and I love it. Just used a portion of the dress. So this was for all you ladies who don't wear dresses, because you wear tops and you wear great tops, and I think this is in that category of great tops. All right, so we'll put that one aside here for a minute. Okay, so now for this one, what I wanted to do was, I'm going to go for a minute to the photo, please. It's 50, the one, whatever we said, 50 or whatever it was. Okay, so the photo there is a Valentina, and this Valentina little dress is $5,400. Black and white stripe. Black and white is, as we all know, is extremely traditional, always in good taste, always works, etc., etc. What I liked about it was the one ruffle and the asymmetric. Even though striping is very symmetrical, I loved how they took the flare and did it a little asymmetric. So that's a Valentina. You can just look it up and get a little better look at it if you want. But I brought that home to Vincent's top now, because when you only use the 3 pieces, you get a very cool asymmetric. I'm going to take this belt off just for a second so you can see a little bit better. You get a really nice asymmetric look. The one side is longer. The pieces will all match up. You're just going to use the longer side. And you can see that that one side is longer. So what I did is I put a sleeve on that side, and then I did the ruffle on this side over here. So that cute ruffle, we've done it before. I'm going to show you how I did it. It sews into the side seam, just literally stitches right on top of the garment, and it is really, really adorable. Now, you are seeing strong black across here, and I'll show you the back also. You're seeing a strong black line. So what I did, because I wanted a really, the black is wonderful, but I wanted it to be really, and close up, I just love this top. I just really wanted that black to be strong and present. So I used a black fold over elastic. When I sewed the 2 seams together, right side together, I put the elastic flat in between the 2 layers. And then when I turned it out to the right side, what was left, I just stitched down. So that's just black fold over elastic, left whatever's left from a 3/8 seam allowance, and then I just left it and stitched it down. And so you can see on the side, that black converges because those seams meet right there. It's really beautiful. And then in the front, you can see it goes across there and then down there. So those are your pieces 1, 2, and 3. And then of course the black rayon knit sleeve, it also tied it in. And I did the black fold over elastic on the neckline also, because again, I was really looking for a really strong theme. I put the sleeve, if you notice, on the longer side. And what I did with this one, because I had already done the DKNY and I already knew what I was going to wear that with, I wanted to wear this one with leggings. So when I cut this one over to the side, I added length here. So this one's long enough that I can wear it with leggings, and it covers everything that I want it to. And it's also longer in the back. So once that's why I talk about when you get to know the pattern, make it up first. Do a muslin. We've got all that muslin right now. 18 I think is the I don't remember the number of the muslin, but it's, you know, it's a 5-yard muslin. It's great knit. It's a great knit. It's a great knit to use for muslin, and it's really sturdy. It's $1 a yard. Make it up first so that you really do get to know it. And I just numbered all the pieces, and then as I took it back apart, I just used the pieces once they were altered, and that really made such a difference, and it made it much easier. So now as I decided to use less pieces, I knew where they would hit. I knew where they would come on my body. So this particular one, I left this side as long, but I wanted to make this side longer and the angle a little less severe. So I added 3 inches to this side and brought it down, and then drew straight lines to the angles. Okay. All right. So if we talk about making this ruffle, I measured from just a little around the waist, right around where the French dart comes in. A little bit right around that area, and I just measured it up to here and then back down to here, and it was 16 inches both. So I'm going to draw this piece for you. Can you just pull up paint for me, if you don't mind? I'm not sure if I've got this pad upside down or not. Just a blank paint. Can you do that, or did we have to do that ahead of time? I forgot. Sorry, you guys. Just a minute. What we're going to do is I'm just going to draw this ruffle for you, and then I'm going to show you how you can draw it and how easy it is. And if we can't get it, that's okay. I can explain it. Yeah, Benjamin, don't worry. All right. So let me draw it on here. Can I draw on there? Yeah. Okay. So let me. Okay. Okay. We're going to use these pattern pieces because we're going to change them up a little bit, but we're just going to pull them up. Just give us 1 second. There we go. Okay, and I draw on this one, right? Okay, so before when I talked about lengthening that one side, this is the piece I'm talking about. So I lengthened it there, and then I redrew that asymmetric line so that it was longer on the one side. The front piece that I did is this piece right here, is the shorter piece. And so again, I lengthened it and then went to asymmetric. You know, you'll know the pieces. That's why I say make it up and you'll know which pieces it is. Now going back to the ruffle here for a minute, you're going to draw a rectangle.
It's just an image coming up. We don't see the edits.
That's okay.
Take your pen off. Take your pen off for a second.
Oh, they don't see it? That's okay. That's okay. All right. So it's just, you know, because certain things went out and we switched things around, some things are not working tonight, but we'll get it. We'll get it. Not a big deal. Okay. So basically to draw that ruffle, when I measured from the shoulder down to where I wanted the ruffle to stop, it was 16 inches. So I wanted to go front and back. So that means it's 32 inches. So, but just deal with the 16, only deal with the front. and then it makes it really easy. When I do a ruffle, I want that ruffle to be, in order to be a nice little ruffle, I want it to be 1.5 to 1. I know I've told you guys many times, and I've actually done this before, so you can refer back. So then what I did is when I drew the rectangle, I slashed from one side over to the other. It doesn't matter which side you slash, just don't slash all the way through, because what you're going to do is like this. You can see where this side is being opened and this side is curving because that's where I cut to but not through. On this side, each of those, I did 9 cuts because it measured 16 inches. I wanted to do it 1 to 1.5. Actually, it measured 18 inches. I'm sorry. So I made 9 cuts and added 9 inches, which is 1 to 1.5. 18, half of 18 is 9. So I wanted to add the 9 inches. So cut, 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 open, and all of those. And what it does is it curves the inside, makes the outside. This is the shoulder seam, and I put that on the fold so that it just continued around to the back. And as you sewed this portion right here to the garment, this is the edge that you straighten that gets sewn to the garment. And so you can see that what this outside edge does is it ruffles. And that's how you do it. I made this, I think it's, let me just give you how wide it is. I made it 8 inches wide, but that's completely, I have seen so many of these ruffles in the stores, you guys, and I've seen them long. I mean, they're cute as can be. You can sew them anywhere you want. I just started right about the shoulder and then just stitched it and curved it into the side seam on both the front and the back. I serged the edge of this, I tucked it under, I top stitched. These are just really fun and really easy. So all the black accents, the fold over elastic here, the fold over elastic, the black, just really like the top. It's really cute, it's really different. Just really, really like it. Okay, and it's all just very easy sewing, you know, an hour, 2 hours, whatever to make, and it'll take you, again, probably about 1 yard of fabric, maybe 2 yards. It all depends on size. And then your fold over elastic and then the black rayon. Okay. All right, so let's go to another one that I did. Is this pattern dress only for knits? It is for knits. And you know, I really contemplated with doing it out of a woven. And you know, not one time have I seen this dress in a woven in the stores. So I decided not to. You could, if you wanted to, go up in size, and you could do an invisible zipper in the side seam. That's how I would have done it. But in all the different ways that I was doing it, I really decided I just haven't seen the dress in a woven. And I'm, you know, I'm not sure why, but I didn't do it. But it is for knits. The pattern is for knits. Did you say the stretch muslin is $1 a yard? Yes, it is. You have to buy 5 yard quantities, you know, 5, 10, 15, whatever, but it's $1 a yard. And it's on the site, and I'm sorry, I don't know the number. Okay.
It's 1818.
Oh, I'm sorry, they've got it. It's 1818 is the number for that stretch muslin. And it's really nice quality. It's really nice quality. We get it from time to time. We never have it long, but while we've got it, it's a good time to add it to your stash. Okay, so this one, what I want to do is show you good old, what are they called? Fringe. Because fringe is just really still really popular. You could have fringed the whole thing, but I decided I really wanted to kind of piece it, and I really like how it turned out. So I'm going to give you the fabrics. I used 2 fabrics. I used 1667, and this is a brown knit, and then I used 1694, and that's a burnout. So burnout plain by itself, brown plain by itself, both together. So I cut 2 layers here, and then obviously just slit the burnout. Just remember that when, you know, when a fabric fringes like this, it fringes beautifully in one direction only, and you got to make sure to turn it the right direction. And then of course the sleeves. In the back, I didn't fringe it all yet, so I wanted you to see how it will look. There's 2 layers there. They're sewn together, they're connected together, and then I just started cutting. And I did 1/2 yard strips, and just, I mean, I could leave this undone, but I won't. I just left that so I could show it to you. It doesn't take long at all, and you can see that with this particular fabric, you actually have like cutting lines, because that brown stripe is 1 inch wide, and the one next to it is a 1/2 inch, I'm sorry, and the one next to it is 1 inch. So it's just really fun, and I love the movement on it. Just really cute. Again, asymmetric, great top. Very easy to do, great top, just by doing double layers and then fringing that top layer, okay? The colors and the coordination, again, I was looking for a color here, lighter here, if you notice this is where your eye goes, and then it carries it down to the fringe. Okay, are we okay with questions? All right, you guys, thanks for being so patient. All right, so the next one, what I wanted to do, before we do that, I want to show you some black and whites. Again, because black and white is so classic, I want to show you some photos of good and bad. So 3 is what we're going to go to, if you don't mind. And these are just for observation for your eyes. In this particular case, what you should notice is that, and then we're going to show you 3. So what I want you to notice is, where do your eyes go? Immediately, where do your eyes go? And just, it's not even that it's your fault or not your fault or whatever. Your eyes, simply by the property of your eyes will always go to the light. That's just how they work. And so your eye goes to this skirt. Now, she's got a cute figure and it looks great on her. Just keep in mind that would that translate well on you? Some of you are very thin, some of you are not. If you are, then you can carry off stripes like this. I wanted to show you some stripes because they are so popular for summertime. They're going to carry into fall, and I think there's good ways and bad ways to wear them. So this would probably be a no, unless you just felt really, really comfortable in your body and your skin, and et cetera, et cetera. All right, and the next one. So immediately try to pay attention where your eyes go. And if you notice, they go right to her waist. All right? Again, do you want everybody to look at your waist? So just because the way the fabric is laid and the way it's done, everything pulls into her waist. All right, and next one. This is a black and white that's done extremely well, because if you notice, your eye just completely continues to move. It moves all over. The lightest part is at the top. Right to the hips, it's dark, and then they've repeated the light at the bottom. I would have done a black at the bottom and pieced it to where you didn't have that, because then you can see if the bottom would have been black, it completely would have left your eye up at the top portion, which is the face, which is what we want. So those are just a few ideas what to think about when you're doing stripes and you see something you like. First look at it and say, okay, where does my eye go? And go from there. All right, so then what I did is, I've seen so many of this particular dress, and I have seen these all over, and I really wanted to do one. They're off the shoulder and the body is all cut up. The body is 4013 and the top is 118. So the bottom is 4013, Vince's dress, and the top is 118, it's the off the shoulder. So this is a very easy combination of patterns together. I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very simple, but it does take a little bit of patience. For me on this one, this particular fabric, this pink, is $16.97. $16.97. I don't think I told you this pink one. This pink one right here is $18.39, and you want to figure that out. Anyway, I just want to make sure I get fabric numbers because I get so many emails on this. All right, so this pink, I love this fabric. I mean, it's just absolutely gorgeous. It is has stretch in both directions. So when you're doing a dress like this and you want to use fabric, if you want to do it how I did it, you've got to have stretch going in both directions on your stripe. One-way stripe will not work because this would have to go up and down, and that's not a look you want. The advantage of this dress is that when you put it on, the shoulders just make your body look so thin. So just an FYI, it's a great dress because it's very slenderizing. It's a little off the shoulder. It's not too bearing or too revealing. Remember, with 118, you can, if you don't want to bare shoulders at all, you can actually wear this up as a little collar, you know, as a little loose collar like that. All right, and I doubled the collar when I was doing the pattern just so that you could kind of do it either way. So, however, when you're doing knits, the stretch changes, and how much they stretch changes. So I'm going to show you how to make the top part of the collar, the top part, so that the collar sews on, but just be aware that the collar, you may have to use different size for the collar than you are for the rest of it, simply because the stretch of the fabric. The sizing on this has to go around your shoulders. And I know I've mentioned this before, but I just want to make sure. I had to go a size larger for this little collar because the fabric didn't have as much stretch to it. And it was no big deal. You're just going to add length to it, so it's not a big deal. All right, so I'm going to show you that this is the piece that goes here. And this is the piece that is from 118. This is actually the pattern piece. And because 118 is drafted off the same base, they're both 195, you're going to use the armhole as a comparison. The notches are even in the same place. So when I put those two pieces together, you can see that this brown tissue here just needs to be cut off. So what makes this collar is that it is just cut off straight. That's what makes this neck edge. So you're going to take this piece, and when I say this piece, it's number 1, and you're going to take one right and one left, and then you're going to take 1A, because that's the back. And all 3 of those are going to get cut off to where they're going to be square like that. But how high up to cut them, you'll use from this piece. And you'll line up the armhole at the same place, and that will tell you where to cut off the collar so that it's the right place on you. Now, with just a warning here, when I put, this is like the right front. So this is this piece right here. When I put this on the armhole, notice that the neckline is below where you cut it off. So don't cut out this neckline. Just when you go to cut the piece out, and I cut it all out, I did the whole thing, just go from here and go down just a little bit and then go to center front. So that when you fold this back to cut it off, you don't have a neckline here. So this portion right here actually had to be raised up. If I put the pattern on it, you can see that it would have been lower. This piece goes like so. Yeah, so this was all filled in is what had to happen in order to make it square like 118. So just watch, because the neckline on the Vince's dress is lower than this neckline when you turn it back. But that's all you have to do. You just cut it off, and then you're free to put the collar on, and you use the collar and you use the sleeve from 118, and then you use the rest of it from the dress. Now also what I did is I wanted it to be knee length. I didn't want it to use all my pieces. So in both cases I left off the bottom. And I knew it was all jagged at the bottom. I knew it was going to be, because I didn't have all the pieces that would make it equal at the bottom. And then once I put it on, I decided where I wanted it, and I just cut it off. And I literally laid it flat and just cut it off, because you can. The fitting is all done through here. And so it's even at the bottom, and I could just easily cut it off. And I love this dress. I mean, I just love it on. It's just as cute as can be. And again, those shoulders, making it really wide, really make you look skinny. And of course, all the stripes are going on, and it's just a lot of fun. Okay, so would cutting up used t-shirts work for making up a muslin? Yeah, that's a good idea. If you've got t-shirts around, sometimes when cotton t-shirts get old, they don't have any stretch left to them. Just make sure your stretch is maintained. But I think that's a good idea. What do you wear under the 2 that are angled on the short side? I did yoga pants. This one's angled on the short side, and I have like a brown pair of yoga pants, and I wore it with that. And the same thing. I just put yoga pants on, and I've got slim leg yoga pants. So that's what I used. Not leggings, but yoga pants. Okay, anything else on that? Okay. It's so much fun to me. I don't think there's one of these. I wish you all could see them up closer. They're so cute. They really are. I had more fun playing with this pattern. And really, you know, it's been a while since I've really made the dress or used the pattern, and I really just needed to kind of regroup and figure out where all the pieces are. So I'd really strongly recommend you do a muslin on this one. I know a lot of you say, I don't want to do the muslin, but you know, I would really suggest it. Do you have suggestions for wearing a bra with the drop shoulder versions? Yeah, I've got a couple of suggestions. Number 1, you can use something strapless. Number 2, I saw a girl the other day. Let me show you this fabric. I forgot I was going to show you this. Thanks for asking. This was really cute. She had, now this was not a sewer. This was a, I think it was a, I can't remember where I was. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So she took the fabric, and I'm going to cut it for you so you can kind of get the idea. She made strap covers for her bra straps. So just for the part that shows, she took fabric. All right, and she used a bra that had straps that undid in the front here. So she made a little strap like this, little covers for her bra straps. She threaded her bra strap through these little straps right there, and she had little connections. This was so adorable because you see this on tons of garments. They have little straps that go over them. So she took the fabric and covered her bra strap. The bra strap was removable, so she could just slide it on. And then, you know, I guess you could do something to secure it or make them as long as the bra strap. And then you just got two little straps going right up here, and you can still have it off your shoulder and still wear your bra without having your bra straps showing. I thought that was like genius. These little bra straps had little covered straps that she made to go with it. But she didn't make them. The girl who made her dress made them, or somebody at the bridal salon, somebody made them. But I thought that was pretty smart. So I'll pass that along. And yeah, you can absolutely still wear a bra. You can still show your shoulders a little bit and have that bra on. And I just think it's adorable. Okay? All right. Anything else? All right, you guys, there's way too much going on. Yeah. All right, we'll get it here. What's upcoming? We've got, oh, okay. Oh, what am I wearing? This is the Sunset Rebecca Taylor. This is a Rebecca Taylor cotton. It's beautiful. Sunset is the color, and I don't know the number on the fabric. We did it on a YouTube. It's just a little, I saw the top at Tommy Bahama. It's called, I think, the Tommy Bahama top, or something related to Tommy Bahama cover up or something like that, and I just really like it. I mean, I've worn it just so much just simply because in a minute I feel like I actually took time to get dressed. If I'm running around and don't have time, it really feels like I took time to get dressed. And over the last couple days, the American Sewing Guild had their conference in Las Vegas, and I was in Las Vegas, and I wasn't there for very long. But it was terrific on the airplane because it's 100 degrees outside and 50 degrees on the airplane. In any of the casinos, it was freezing. So it was just really nice to have it and throw it on. And anyway, I love it. I love it. Make a couple. They're just really nice to have. All right. We're doing good. Again, I can't say thanks enough for waiting. We'll figure out what's wrong. We know we have a monitor out, but you know, other than that, we'll figure it out. Question: if you wanted to use a zipper or zippers in the seams, where do you suggest? You know, I would have to say toward the bottom, and the reason is in each of these. I mean, you know, in the design of the garment, what you're going to notice is, you know, it's awfully close to the bust to have zippers going over the bust. I don't know, you know, for some reason I thought of that. I just didn't like it. But if you want to do it, I would probably say do it toward the bottom. You know, I'd probably leave it to the bottom. I think there's so much fun up here that's going on. The trim, I put the fold over elastic trim in, but that was really to accent the black and not to pull that focus to the zippers. I don't know. I don't have any suggestions on that one, you guys. You'll have to figure that one out on your own. Post them on Facebook if you put the zippers in and you love what you did, and so we can all see it. Maybe we can do that version. I didn't use zippers on this one. And now, you know, guys know I'm a zipper freak, but it didn't happen for me on here. Can I add side seams? If I'm a 5W bodice but need an 8W hip, can I add to side seams? Or will that compromise center front? No, that'll work. Absolutely. Very easy. Make your muslin up and so that you get it right. 5W to 8W is no big deal at all. Very easy to do. The pattern will actually do it for you because all these pieces that are cut up, they're not graded in the middle. They're all graded at the side. So as you're going, it would be just like on the sweater set. If you're going from one size to larger, none of them are going to do it in the middle. All of it's going to happen at the side. So it's going to be very easy to go from one size to another size. Very, very easy to do. Don't even worry about that. Okay? All right, so we're going to see you in 2 weeks, and we will have new monitors and all kinds of new fun stuff. Get your muslin. Get your 5 yards of your muslin or 10 or whatever it is, and we'll say happy sewing from Silhouette Patterns. Good night.